Hello and welcome. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Deimos Venture. So this is the next ship in my Explorer line of ships, and this one is built entirely out of Deimos parts. So you can pick up everything that you need for the ship over here at the Deimos Star Yard over near Mars. Now, this is an Explorer class ship, um, which means that it has a bunch of restrictions on it. First of all, it is restricted to Starship Design Rank 2 or less. This means that it's something that you can go ahead and pick up and play with in the mid-game. So this you should have everything available and unlocked for this somewhere between levels around, say, 20 and 40. Additionally, like all Explorer class ships, it has a bunch of habs that are required. First of all, I'm requiring all Explorer class ships to have an armory in case you go looking around in dangerous places on dangerous planets. Next, as an Explorer ship, it does have to have a science lab. And then we also want to have an infirmary in case somebody gets injured on our trip. We need cargo holds, so that way we can store all of our goods and anything that we pick up on along the way. And finally, we have to have enough crew space for 4 to 8 crew members. Now, this particular ship massively overdoes that, with crew space for, I think it was 16 or 18. So, what I counted. And the other fun thing about this ship is that it is very near the parts limit. Now, last time I counted, I was 128 parts, and I believe the parts cap is 130 parts. So, you're running close. Additionally, this is a Class C ship, so you will need to go ahead and have your piloting skill all the way up to level 4 to build this. And because of how it's built, I can't really downgrade it to a Class B or a Class A. Doing so is just going to be massively crippling on the mobility. So, let's come on over here to the Deimos Star Yard. And after we dock, we'll do the interior tour. Alright. So, first things first, you can see that we are in the Ares Bridge, one of my favorites. And this bridge also gives you 8 crew slots, because, we didn't have enough crew. Next, we can come on back here, and we are immediately entering into a 1x1 companionway. This goes down onto kind of the main level. The ship is 3 floors inside. Cabin or the Ares bridge is on top. And then we have the door coming into the Deimos mess hall with seating for 16. And then right over here is where we have all of our cooking. So we've got a cooking station right there. Got a nice big countertop to do meal prep with. A couple fridges. And some more fridges. Maybe one of them's a freezer. Who knows? Continuing on over here. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Right now, this is configured as a 3x1 all-in-one. I was going to go ahead and swap this on over for a living quarters, because Deimos has a 3x1 living quarters. And the reason is, in the 3x1 right here is where the bathroom goes. Whereas in the living quarters, the bathroom would be right over here. So we'll swap that out. And then we can come all the way on over here through this little area. And what do we find? Yet another 3x1 living quarters. Oh, sorry, all in one. One day I'll get this straight. And that is it for the top floor of this ship. Let's go down one. So you can see right here we have our landing bay access. Oh, did not mean to open. And then right back here we have our infirmary. So we've got easy access to the armory and the infirmary right from the entrance. Then we have a ladder going down, and that's where our docking hatch is, and I'll show you what's down there after we finish this level of the ship. Coming forward, we have the Deimos 3x1 living quarters. As I said, I was going to go ahead and swap this out on the up level. You can see this has 2 beds here, nice weight station, plenty of relaxing area, a bathroom located right over here, and then another little galley. Then, to the left and the right, we have 2x2 living quarters. These are just crew relaxation areas. There are no galleys or beds in the Deimos 2x2s. However, there are bathrooms. Then, coming through here, we come back and here is a 2x1 all-in-one berth. Got another 4 beds and a bathroom. And then when we cross on over to the other side, again, same living quarters. And then yet another all-in-one. So overall, that gives us 4, 8, 12, 16, right now 18 beds. If I swap that top 3x1 to a living quarters, it'll be 16 beds. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bathrooms so far. So who knows, maybe that all-in-one doesn't need a bathroom. Because when we come down here, you can see immediately our docker. And then right over here we have a 2x2 cargo hold hab. Note the Deimos 2x2 cargo holds do have a bathroom. So that means that between this one and the same one on the other side, we are up to 8 bathrooms for 18 beds, which could be enough. Then right in here we have the Deimos Science Lab. You can see we've got our research lab here and our pharmaceutical station right here. And then crossing on over to this side, we've got, as I mentioned, another 2x2 cargo hold hab. And then forward of it, we have a Deimos workshop with access to all of our workbenches. So, let's go into the Star Yard and see how this behemoth is built. And it looks like it's night shift on the Star Yard. They turned all the lights off on us.
Today is the day. I think you'll be more than satisfied.
Alright, well, let's hop into the shipbuilder. And you can see that I went with a kind of black and gold. Well, more black and yellow. I might tweak that yellow in the end. And then, as mentioned, this is the ship. So we've got 4 of these Supernova 2000 engines on the back. Note each of those has about 6,500 maneuvering thrust. If we wanted to downgrade this ship to be a Class A, we are going, I guess it might technically be possible, but we are going to lose most of that 6,000 cargo. If we do Class B, We've got the Dun 31 engine, which is about half the maneuvering thrust. Hercules has about 4,000, so we lose about 2,500. Yeah, and then the only way that we could possibly do Class B and still maintain anything like this would be if we go and get some engines from Freestar Space. So, as I said, I'm only going to go ahead and do this ship and not a variant. So let's go ahead and select all and delete it. So how do you build this ship? First things first, we need our bay, and this one has a rear entry Deimos bay. Next, we're going to go on over to our habs, and first we're going to select an armory, and then we're going to push this armory forward once, so the entryway is coming in on the back of that armory. Then, on the back of this, we are going to go ahead and grab our infirmary, just like so. Next up, right above the entryway, we are going to go ahead and place a companionway. Behind that companionway, we're going to go ahead and do the Deimos 2x3 mess hall. And then right over here at the front of the armory, we're going to turn down and we're going to grab another companionway. Now let's go ahead and finish the bottom of this ship first. So selecting here, I want to grab the 2x2, and I'm going to grab a cargo hull. And then I'm just going to copy that on over to this side. Then on the front of this, I'm going to go ahead and select the 2x1, and I need my science lab and my workshop. Just like so. One thing to note here is if you wanted to, you could swap these 2x2s out for the 2x3 cargo holds, like this one. And you will still get most of the functionality that you're looking for. However, the 2x3 does not have a bathroom in it, which is most of the reason why I went with the 2x2. Additionally, it's not like these actually serve an in-game purpose, so having the smaller one makes no real difference there. Alright, the next thing that I want to note here is that with this configuration, so far nothing is actually overlapping. So there's only one set of possible doors, except for coming from this infirmary up to the mess hall. However, putting this companionway here does go ahead and prioritize this trying to go ahead and connect this way rather than having the ladder up. So let's go ahead and finish the middle section now. I'm going to go ahead and grab the 3x1, and I made this one the living quarters. If you wanted to, you could also make this an all-in-one berth instead. And then off the front of this, I want a 2x2 living quarters, and I'm going to pull this forward one. And again, you will note there is no overlap here. It cannot possibly get any sort of doors down into this or ladders. Next, on the back outer portion of these living quarters, we're going to go ahead and slap on a pair of all-in-one berths. Again, no possible overlap, no other possible way of getting ladders or doors. All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and grab another 3x1, and we're going to put this off of the mess hall. And again, note how it fits in here and how there's no possible way to go ahead and have it connect anywhere else. And I'm going to copy that. And again, for the tour, this had the all-in-one berth here, but as I said, I'm going to go ahead and turn this into the living quarters, so that way we have a bathroom in this section. Alright, so this is the hab layout. And as mentioned, the only possible way or possible points where you've got some selection for where you might put doors or ladders is between this companionway and the mess hall. The mess hall could connect down into the infirmary, so it is possible that it would decide to go ahead and do something stupid like, okay, you entered into the armory, now you need to go up the ladder and through the mess hall and then down into the infirmary. Um, with the way that we toured this, that did not happen, luckily, but that is the only way that it could possibly mess up. Next up, let's come down to the bottom, and on this companionway here, we're going to go ahead and place the 100 DP Slim Docker. Then, on the top of this companionway, we're going to go ahead and grab our Ares bridge. Just like so. Alright, now that we've got all this done, let's go ahead and look at the bottom of this ship. Actually, first, let's go ahead and grab our reactor, grav drive, and fuel. So for the reactor, I'm using the Fuser DC402, and I'm just tucking that in right here. Then for fuel, I have a 700T HE3 tank, and that's being tucked in right on the other side of this companionway. So it's kind of flat right here. Next, right in front of the companionway where our Docker is, it's where I have my grav drive, and I am using the RD3000 beta grav drive. This is giving me 36 grav jump thrust, and this is the most that you can get out of a Class B grav drive. Note, with this ship, if I wanted to, I could very easily use one of the Class C grav drives. However, fun fact, limiting myself to Starship Design Rank 2 actually reduces my grav jump thrust because I can only use the GV100 or J50, which have 34 grav jump thrust, and then I need to get Starship Design Rank 3 to get more. Anyways, fun note. Alrighty, so the next thing that we're going to do is right behind the reactor and the fuel tank, I'm going to go ahead and stake my first cargo. Now here I'm using Galleon S203 cargo holds, and I've just rearranged it like this so that way it looks more like a solid brick, because I cannot use the S204s because Starship Design Rank 3. I could go ahead and use the 30T hauler cargo. However, that's 1,000 cargo and 212 mass versus 1,200 cargo and 252 mass. Overall, not a particularly huge deal, but it is there. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and start some glitching. So on the bottom of these two cargo holds, I'm going to come on over here to my landing gear and using the 320 CB landing gear. And put one on each of these. However, I want to go ahead and smooth this out and cover it up. So let me come on over to the structural tab, and I'm going to go ahead and put these underneath, and then I'm going to duplicate these on up until they cover the landing gear. Just like so. Next, I'm going to duplicate this out to the side, because I do need to duplication glitch some more stuff. Now let's go on over to our engines. Now, I'm using these Supernova 2000 engines. I could go ahead and use like the DT 2010s, but I just like the look of these a little bit more. Um, or, you can slap this on somewhere. Woo! That does not fit the aesthetic very well. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and put these Supernova 2000s on. And then the next thing that you will note is I am putting them on low. The reason is if I try and raise it, it doesn't fit. Because these are just slightly taller than the hull itself. Not really tall enough that when you go into the mess hall, you can see them um, from the inside, but it is enough that you can't just place it there. So we need to duplication glitch this up. Just like so. And then repeat. And note what I'm doing here is I'm just duplicating, pressing on PC Control G to duplicate, and then hitting accept immediately, and that kind of duplicates it directly on top. And then I select it, and it immediately wants to go up, and I hit cancel, and that duplicates it into place. There we go. Our engines are now online. All right. Now, the next thing is I'm going to go ahead and take this landing gear plus Deimos hull party, and I'm going to duplicate that. A couple of times. So I am basically getting the landing gear plus hull around the outside of the science lab and the workshop, but not on this inside section here. All right, next up, in front of this, I'm going to go on over to my structural tab, and I'm going to grab Deimos bellies. And just put one at the front of each of those. Just kind of smooth the curve down a little bit. Alrighty. Now, for my next thing, in front of this grav drive, I've got basically two spots here. And I'm going to go ahead and toss a little bit more cargo in. I grabbed the Caravel V103 cargo holds. And the reason I did this is because I did not have the mass available to go ahead and grab some more of these like S203s. But this fills out the space quite nicely and gives us some extra cargo space. All right, that is the bottom of the ship. And we can just double check our landing gear. Yep, we've got all of our landing gear. And now it's just a matter of the middle sections and then the upper sections. So, I do, however, have more cargo. I was able to sneak on a bunch of the 200 cm ballast cargo holds kind of in this little interior gap. You can see I was able to fit 4 of them on each. Now, the fun thing here though is when I go on over to the structural tab, I can scroll on down until I get to the Deimos Spine F. And what's this? It fits right in between these cargo holds. I don't need to do any flip glitching, it just works. and I put that on each side. Note these do have a normal connection point on top, not a weapon connection point. Then I'm going to go ahead and put that same spine underneath the 3x1s on the upper section, and that just fills that area in. All right. Next up, continuing with spiny problems, let's go ahead and grab Deimos Spine A's. So I do flip glitch a spine A on the back, and that's going into this cockpit just a little bit. There is a small like little seating area on those back sections of the cockpit, and this is slightly visible. However, I found that to be worth it to still kind of fill this section out a little bit. All right, now that I've got that though, forward of there, I go ahead and I put some more spines. And then I'm going to grab the Deimos cowling, and then a Deimos hull, and then another Deimos cowling. And this is purely for aesthetics sake. Come on. There we go. And then copy it to this side. On the underside of this, though, I am using the Deimos Skeg A's, just to kind of get a little bit more of that appearance there. Now, in this little gap right here, I went ahead and stuck on the Deimos Wing D's, just like so. All right. Then, coming on out here, let's go ahead and start putting some bumpers on. Note this is 5 long, so I'm just duplication glitching the bumper into place. Just like so. All right, and then right over here, I have the Deimos Wing A's, front and back. Just like so. All right, and then I have some more Deimos cowlings. And then the Deimos Hull A, and another Deimos cowling. All right. Next up, I have a pair of Deimos tails on the back side of each of these 3x1s. Note, I did kind of originally want to stick a tail right here. However, I'm reaching the length limit for the ship. I also really wanted to go ahead and do things like put some more portholes in and just add some visibility and that sort of stuff. However, as mentioned, I was hitting the parts cap. So let's go ahead here. Got a Deimos Spine B and a Deimos Spine B. All right, and that's all my Spine A's. All right, Let's go ahead and pull that forward. And that is all the structural pieces. Now then, next thing that we need is our shield. So again, if you've got the Vanguard, use that. Otherwise, the best one that you got with Starship Design Rank 2 is the Odin 3040. And you can just stick that wherever. You can hide it under cowling. Or what I did here is I hid it under this Deimos hull. Duplication glitch that into place. Alright. Now then, let's go ahead and take a look at the weapons. Now for this ship, I decided not to think too hard, and I just tossed on 4 of the Disruptor 3340A auto alpha turrets. Just set that to the side. I tossed on a 4 PBO 300 auto alpha turrets. And then finally, I tossed on a 4 PBO 300 auto alpha beams. Just put the auto alpha beams right here in the center. And then for my turrets, just stick them on in any of the innumerable weapon spots. Just like so. Actually, let's stick these up here. There we go. And that is the ship. Got 2 errors, unattached modules. What's unattached? Oh, this is unattached. All right. And then let's go ahead and assign our turrets. All right. And finally, let's paint this ship. Let's go ahead and do more like this. Mess around a little bit until we like that gold look a little bit more. Yeah, I like that slightly better. All right. And, yep, I swapped that out for the living quarters. Again, with all of these tabs, you can just swap in and out for whatever makes more sense to you. All right.
When you get serious about your spacecraft, come back to Deimos.
Let's go back through the overly dark Deimos
Welcome to Deimos.
station. Hop on in. All right. And you can see that I have, with the aniatronic fusion skill at level 4, I have a 6 power in each of my turrets and my particle beams. I have 9 power on my shield, and of course 12 power on my engines. So, as usual, let's go ahead and see how well this performs in Serpentis. This is not necessarily a dedicated combat ship, it's more of an all-in-one, all-rounder. But that still does mean that it should go ahead and hold its own in combat. back in our engines. Alright, that is one down. Take out this vigil. And then we have a eulogy 3. Alright. Let our weapons recharge a little bit. There we go. So, wasn't overly difficult to go ahead and tear through 3 Veyroon ships there. Let's go ahead and finish picking up the loot, and we will give one more planet a go. And I will also note that we were very easily able to brawl with this variation, and we didn't need to worry about kiting. And a settler pelican, never mind. Hostile activity, let's go see what that is. Veyroon Dirge, Revelation. Alright, owies! Alright, but we do find there's an element of luck still needed when playing on extreme difficulty. Alright, did I miss a ship? Nope, this Dirge 3 just hits like a truck. There we go. Alright. Looks like what got us there is this Dirge 3 has quite a bit of power behind some of its missiles. And we just took that straight to the face. Alright. So, If you've watched all the way to the end, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all those YouTube things. And otherwise, I will see you in the next one.